Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Riza low voltage wall sconce. Lots of Riza fixtures, including pendants. Check them out. This is the 2013-53. Let's get into details about it. Let's talk about the height of the fixture itself, and that's 8.1 inches. Diameter, actually, we're going to say width, 7.2, and the depth coming from the wall out is coming in at 10.7. The overall height, this is the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the top of the back plate. It's going to have a range, and it could be as short as 9 inches. You can also make this as long as 75 inches. And how you do that, I want to show you using the installations instructions. So if you're on the page on this, on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDFs. Open that up for me. It is going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you how Hubbardton's using a beautiful piece of opal glass, which I'll talk about more, with an inset retaining ring that's going to go over the socket, sits inside of all of that beautiful ribbony aluminum. And also on that same paperwork, you're going to see that the wire is going to be going up into a piece that's going to turn it. It's going to go into the back plate that's going to go on the wall. That back plate is 5.5 inches in diameter. It's going to go over your 4-inch junction box quite easily. And there's going to be a transformer hiding behind that back plate that's going to transform your line voltage in your building or your house down to low voltage so it safely goes through that cable so you can touch it. So take advantage of that, because there's some good drawings on that page that show you the inside of that back plate, and you can see lots of great details there, as well as how to put this on, which takes 2 seconds. Okay, so let's kind of move on for a second. And one other thing, you're not going to be able to make this longer and shorter all the time, back and forth. Once you put that wire in there, you're going to be cutting that wire in the back of that back plate. So you have to decide how long you guys want to make this. Slight detail. Good to know. Let's talk about what's going on inside of this as far as lamping goes. It's going to be using a G4 socket, and you're going to be using an LED in this, no halogens. You're going to be using a 4-watt LED. A 4-watt LED is the equivalent of about a 40-watt equivalent incandescent bulb we grew up with. When you go out into the world and you're looking for these bulbs, and the easiest way to do it would be to go on like 1001bulbs.com or, quite frankly, Amazon, and just put in G4 4-watt LED, and you're going to see quite a few bulbs pop up, and you're going to see a 4.5-watt version probably popping up as well, and you can use that without a problem. When it gets into LEDs, it's about the heat generated by a bulb, and these don't generate much heat at all, so a 4.5 watt is almost nothing. And depending on the manufacturer, you're going to find lots of 4 to 4.5 that are out there, so don't be afraid to jump up to that 4.5. Anyway, so let's kind of move on from there, and we'll talk about 2 other things. One is, this is a dimmable fixture, so when you're looking at bulbs, make sure it says dimmable. It's going to be pretty important. You want to make sure you put the right dimmer or rheostat on the wall that's set up for dimmable LEDs. It's going to be important as well. And the other thing is, I talk about the color of light coming out of these LEDs in every video. You're going to have a range offered, and you're going to see they're going to start off at 2700 Kelvin, 2700 K. That's going to be the warmth of a light of a setting sun, very orangey yellow. Way on the other side of that is going to be called daylight. And daylight sounds warm. Don't let it fool you. That's kind of a cold hospital waiting room light. That's that bluish white light you see on an overcast day outside. So that is 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. In the middle of all that is what we like to use in our showroom, which is called warm white. And that's 3,000 Kelvin or 3,000 K. And you'll notice on if you actually get a chance to go to a hardware store and you see a box that has a little scale on it, there'll be a little arrow, and it'll be pointing at where that bulb is on that scale. So it's something you should know. When you get into Amazon, just make sure it's going to tell you right off the bat, warm white, 2700 Kelvin, 3000 Kelvin, 4000, 5000 Kelvin. The light coming down on my hands, this is 3000 Kelvin warm white. This is that nice glow that looks a lot like incandescent light we grew up with, but it's not. These are LEDs. So that would be our choice on this. Dimmable, 3000 Kelvin, 4.5 to a 4 watt, and you are good to go. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these 2 pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same. And so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.